My first French-Canadian dish is tourtiere, or what the Acadians call pâté. It's a meat pie, very savory filling. It tastes so good, I couldn't believe it the first time I made it because it's so simple to make. I need pastry first, so I'm using 3½ cups of flour, a teaspoon of salt, 1½ cups of butter. I'm cutting the butter in pieces so it's easier to pinch. I've got this all broken up into crumbs. See how it just gets flaky like that? And I'm making a well. I'm using 2 eggs. I want quite a sturdy pastry because it's going to wrap meat. And I need some cold water. I'll just mix the eggs and then just a few tablespoons, not too much. I can add a little bit in a minute. And then just whisking from the well inwards, drawing the flour in, whiz it until it holds together without over mixing, because then it gets tough. And then just gather the dough into a ball. This is enough for 2 tourtières. I'm going to let the dough chill because it's easier to roll out that way. Just going to pat it into a rectangle because that's how I'm going to roll it out. It'll give me a head start. Now for the filling, I have 2 kinds of meat. And this is very typical of lots of French recipes, even now, in France and in Canada, to mix up meats because it gives more flavor. A pound of pork and a pound of beef, and I'm only going to use ½ pound of beef to the pork. Just break the meat into the pan, ½ pound of ground beef. Now this is the peculiar thing about this recipe, that instead of frying the meat, you actually pour water on it. And this keeps it from clumping. It keeps it much more tender when it's done. Add the onion right to the meat. Now, these are very old-fashioned flavorings. Cloves, but just a pinch. And the most important ingredient is summer savory. And just 1 teaspoon in this gives it its own special character. I'm just going to stir it around a little bit. It needs about 20 minutes until it's done. Whew. It's in a big hurry. Now look at how this gets all nice and crumbly instead of getting dense and hard. I'm just adding a few tablespoons of breadcrumbs that will hold it all together. This pastry is nice and firm. Now I'm actually just going to turn this off while I roll it out. And I want it a bit cool because I don't want it melting my pastry. I need a hot oven because the meat is cooked. Say 425, 450. And really all that has to cook is the pastry, and you want it to set quite quickly around so it doesn't slump too much. Smells great. A little pepper though, and salt. Make a line down the center. Now just fold up the ends over the meat. and then the sides so that they overlap. Now I just want to try to flip it because I want it seam side down. Whoop. Then I want some slashes in the top so the steam can get out. I want to do a little paint job with some milk instead of a little glaze. Now that just needs a short time in the oven until the pastry is golden and crisp and the meat mixture is hot again, and it will be divine. It slices so neatly. I'm using a serrated knife, that helps. It's very buttery pastry, nice and crisp, and it goes against this really moist filling. It's one of the best things about it. It's ideal winter food. In fact, it's ideal summer food too. Why not, with a salad on the side?